It's your boy Jermaine back with another live stream. What's up? Thought I would do a stream. Today was one of them days where I'm like, let's stream in the daytime. Let's go to the woods, let's stream. I sit down, talk, chill, hang out for a little bit. I have a vitamin water. Thought I would drink it. And hang out with y'all. So come on, join this stream. I'll let y'all pile in here. Because I usually don't stream in the middle of the afternoon. I usually stream, like maybe closer to 5, 6. But let's do it right now. Well, I got time right now too. It's a nice day outside. It is gorgeous out here. I'm kind of sitting behind this tree, so there's like this little strip of shade, and I'm for real mean like a little strip of shade, bro. And otherwise it's gonna get warm. Crazy thing, I was trying to find your channel earlier. I remember you made investing videos. Yours, that was me. That was me. I mean, I still do a lot. I mean, I'm in the stock market quite a bit, actually. I just don't really talk about it that much. I mean, I do talk about it in streams, but I don't like talk about it like I used to. Because, I don't know. I mean, back then I was really, really excited about it, but now I've been like in the stock market for like a long time. So I'm not like I'm just kind of more used to it, I think that's the big difference. Like back then it wasn't that many people talking about stock market and making money and stuff like that. And today you have many channels, talking about, you got channels that just only talk about stock market. You got channels that only talk about crypto. You got channels that only talk about personal finance, that whole category. So nowadays it's just, that whole category is totally different. Oh, yo, thanks for the CashApp, Steve. Yo, thanks for the $100 CashApp, yo. Yes. I will buy some Bitcoin with that because Bitcoin is the way. Yes. I don't know. I've been going on some pretty wild Bitcoin trips lately too. I'm talking about some insane wild Bitcoin trips, y'all. Just thinking about like where it could eventually go, and whew, once it runs out, it runs out, Once it runs out, it runs out. I mean, I guess it won't run out because people will still have it, and people will definitely, trade it and spend it, and but I don't know. I think it's a really, really amazing asset. And XRP, I think XRP is great. I can't wait for the XRP ETFs, because once the XRP ETFs roll around, this just means that people can like put it in their retirement account and stuff like that. Because like, I was talking to a bunch of other people, and they were saying the same thing. They're like, ever since they made the Bitcoin ETF, that now they can invest in the Bitcoin ETF in their retirement account, right? Because I know some people, like, they only want to do Bitcoin, right? So they don't want to buy stocks. So if you have a retirement account and like there's no ETF, like you can't invest in Bitcoin, but if there's an ETF, you can invest in Bitcoin. So for all the people that are like for real hardcore crypto folks, the NFTs would be dope. Not the NFTs, the ETFs would be really dope. Hello, how are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing? How's everybody having a good day or a good week? I'm having somewhat of a good day. Yeah. I just have like a friend that like we haven't really talked in a day or two, so I'm a little worried, we kind of like bumped heads, on something. So I don't know, I've been thinking about that, but like farther as everything else, I don't know, everything else has been kind of chill. It's been really cold lately, I would say. Um, to our standards, cold is like, 40 degrees. We definitely had some mornings where, sorry, I'm all spitting and stuff. We definitely had some mornings where it's, 40 degrees and stuff. It's been pretty chilly. Are there any Krugers or bears out there? There probably won't be any Krugers or bears, but there definitely would be mountain lions. I think that's what you call them, mountain lions. What do you call those things? They look like dogs, but they're not. But yeah, there's definitely animals out here. They may not be around here in this area right now. They might not be here. And if they are, hopefully they don't mess with me. But there is definitely some animals out here. I think if they saw me, they might want to run. I don't think they would want to attack me, because if there was animals out here like attacking people like that, they would have to get rid of those. You know what I mean? Because there's just too many people that come to this park. But there's definitely some animal I see around, because one night I was in this park, bro, and I saw one, and it had a collar around their neck, and the collar had a flashing light, right? So there's definitely animals, and someone told me that that's the tracker, because the Park Service want to keep track of where they are. So it has a tracker on them. Have you eaten at the Sam Wu spot? Sam Wu spot. Coyote, that's what it is. It's coyote. It's a coyote. Coyote. That's what it is. It's a coyote. I say mountain lions. No. I don't think we got mountain lions, but coyote. Yeah. Big cat. Yes, it is a big cat. Definitely not a fox. Maybe it could be foxes out here, but I don't know. I think it's more coyotes than anything. What is the Sam Wu spot? Is this like a famous Chinese restaurant or something? It sounds familiar, Sam Wu. I've definitely heard of that name. I don't know where. Is he like someone on Instagram or something? That name sounds familiar. This must be a spot in the city. Or is this like an influencer that goes to a certain spot in the city? I'm trying to figure it out. The Sam Wu spot. Tell me about the Sam Wu. It's Sam Wu closing after 100 years. Closing after 100 years. Dang, yo. What were they selling? Yeah, what were they doing? I mean, was it a restaurant? Was it like a clothing store? Like, what was Sam Wu? I'm gonna have to make my way up because the sun's coming over here. I'm trying to hide from the sun. Yeah, like, what was Sam Wu? Was it a restaurant or what was it? I'm trying to figure out what it was. Because I've definitely heard of it. It must be like I mean, if it's been open 100 years, I've seen it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Clay Street, SF. Oh, so that sounds like it's in Chinatown. That's what that sounds like. Because Chinatown runs through that part of SF. That's crazy, man. Like, what's gonna be left? Because it seems like stuff's still closing down, because even Bloomingdale's is closing down, right? But I'm gonna keep it real. People knew that place was gonna close down, because it was never foot traffic in there. I'm telling you, I didn't really see much foot traffic in there at all. I mean, think about it. The Nordstroms had already closed, so yeah, that place. I actually kind of knew it was gonna close a long time ago, because they used to have like a Gucci store in there, and they used to have like a Louis Vuitton store in there. And when I saw that both of those stores closed down in the Bloomingdale's, I was thinking to myself, Bloomingdale's is probably on their way out, bro. You know, if they hadn't just lost these little, they had like a little small Gucci store and a little small Louis Vuitton store. Yeah, they definitely closed. Hope the wildfires don't destroy too many more acres of land. Animals are innocent. So think about the animals. Animals are pretty smart when it comes to fires. I don't think that all the animals are just gonna perish in the fires. I think that maybe some, but some animals like are they they get away. If an animal's locked up in a house, that's a whole nother story, you know. And then the fire comes, that's like a whole nother story. But if like wild animals and stuff like that, I would imagine that they probably can sense fires a little bit different than we can, right? I think that maybe they have a different, like maybe they can smell different. At least some animals, maybe they can smell different. Maybe they can smell that fire like way far away, and they know that like, okay, this area is not safe. We should probably get away, right? Because you got to think, wildfires happen all the time in California. The only problem with wildfires is when they happen where people live. Okay, if they happen up there in the woods, where there's just acres after acres after acres after acres of just, trees and hills. And if it happens there and there's no houses, that's it's kind of okay. Because that's what it used to do before we came over here and started building houses in the freaking woods, right? That's what California would always do. California would always have these natural fires, right? Lightning strikes, everything's dry in the middle of the summer, right? Fire starts, it burns, right? The winter comes, everything's brown. Spring comes, it rains like crazy. Things start to become green again. And then after like 2-3 years, you can't even tell it was a fire here because, the area has changed green. I mean, maybe, a lot of the trees are still down and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is like the fires is just like a natural thing. But the problem is when we build like up in the hills, and then also when you build in the hills and they don't clear out all the brush. That can be a big problem too, because if a fire ever started, it's just like gasoline, it's like whoosh, because now I got all these dead trees and dead brush to light the fire up and make it just way worse than what it is. So at the end of the day, it's just, I mean, fires are just a natural thing in California. Now there are like different ways you could build to make your place be a lot safer in the event of a fire, right? You can have like, your house cleared, where you got like rocks around your house. So that way you don't have nothing that will catch on fire, right? Or you can, you can just build your house like, out of flame resistant materials, right? You could install a sprinkler system outside, right? I mean, you could do a lot of things to help prevent a fire, or you could also like not live in the woods, right? But then don't get me wrong, a lot of people did not live in the woods. Like people in Palisades, they were living in typical California communities where you drive down this long street and there's all these houses and, people have a pool in their backyard, right? It's just like a normal freaking neighborhood, but like a lot of it burned, And a lot of people probably thought, yo, this area probably won't burn. Like this is good, That's kind of messed up, Fire makes ground even more fertile. Yeah, after the fire, yeah, it's a natural occurrence. It's a natural thing, especially California, because it's so dry, and then when things dry out, man, they can light up real quick, I don't know. I thought I heard someone. I miss your Uber Eats videos and caviar. Yeah. Peace out. You about to take off, Rob? All right, I'll see you. It's way worse in SoCal. It barely rains. Well, yeah, it is way worse in SoCal. Way worse. Way worse. But then it's also like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's just drier in SoCal. Like I think in the Bay Area, it's not as dry. Because we get a lot of, especially in SF, we get like a lot of fog and stuff like that. Sometimes it'll be in the middle of the day, right? And it'll just be like mad foggy, So it's not really dry. It's kind of like, foggy and damp, But in LA, no, bro, you wake up and it's just dry out there. You in a goddamn desert, you know? So that's kind of like the difference between LA. And don't get me wrong, like San Jose kind of feels like that. You know, like last time I was down in San Jose, like, man, that heat, you get out the car, that heat hit your ass, you like, whoa, shit. Man, let me get back in the car and go back to the city, you know? It's 60 degrees in the city. You get to San Jose, it's 95 degrees, you know? So I'm telling you, it's a big temperature change. And it's only, what, 50-minute drive, you know? It's crazy. They need more DEI firefighters. Bro, I know people that are so upset about the DEI thing. Like people that are so upset, bro. It literally boggles my mind that like people are upset. Like they actually want to pick who rescues them and shit like that. Like it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, you know? But I don't know, you can't save everybody. You know, that's why they say when you're on an airplane, put your mask on first, you know, before helping others, you know, because you gotta save yourself first, bro. The DEI is kind of crazy. I mean, what happens when you get hired to a position, right? Because they pick you because of, you know, your background. But then let's say you can do like, you know, 50% of the job, but then there's part of the job you can't do. Like, what do you do in that scenario? You know, do they just get someone else to do that part of the work for you? You know, what happens if, you know, you're working on a task, like in a group of people, and, you know, they give you something and you're not able to complete all of it because you just don't know, you know? You just don't know this, you don't know this, you know? Like, what happens in that scenario? I mean, these are like literally valid questions, you know? These are not like, I'm not like picking on anyone. I'm just like asking a real question. Like, I mean, I guess you would say, hey, look, I can't do this. Like, can you, you know, give me something a little bit easier to do? Like, I don't know. How would that work? You know? Or how would that work? And I don't know, did that happen to Boeing too? Did they have a lot of DEI stuff going on? Is that why? I don't know if that's true, but like people are saying like, you know, maybe that had something to do with that. The fire was part of relocation plan. So are they for real gonna like build like smart cities in LA after the fire? Because just imagine, man. Just imagine like you have a house on Malibu. Like you have a house on the beach in Malibu. And you gotta think about something here. There's not too many places in the US that are just really, really, really epic to have a house, right? Now, just I'm being facts, like 100. Think about this for a second. There's not too many places that are just prime golden, like that's the spot for a house. You know what I mean? I could think of a couple off the top of my head. Okay, Miami. Okay, there's some pretty sick spots you can have in Miami, like right on the water, right on the beach. You know, definitely Miami, South Beach, right? Let me think. Parts of Hawaii. Okay, I've seen some places in Hawaii that are just, bro, they are just next level, you know, right there on the water, house, you know, sick, right? But Malibu is one of those spots, dude. It's one of them spots where, like, dang, right there on the water, you know, bam, in California, right? In LA, you can freaking go drive to all the parties, you know, come back to your sick house right there on the water. And that's like I said, that's one of them prime spots to live at in the whole country. And then a bunch of it got burned down and they won't let people rebuild. Like, what the? Oh, that's so messed up. It's crazy. Oh, Palisades is exactly like Sausalito. It has hills. Wow. You know, Sausalito's a weird place, man. That place is windy and hilly and very tight roads. Like, very tight roads. Oh my gosh. You know what? Since you You just kind of put it into perspective for me when you said that Palisades is like Sausalito, because when I'm looking at those videos in Sausalito of the people in the cars and they have to leave their cars on the side of the road, like it's kind of hard for me to imagine that. But driving around Sausalito, I can totally imagine why they had to leave their cars on the side of the road, because in Sausalito, there's a lot of places like that where it's just really, really tight. Like if there's a bunch of cars and like, there's something blocked down below, the roads are like really small. Like I totally get that. Huh. Because I've never been to Palisades. Or I don't think so. Maybe I don't think so. Or maybe I went through there or something. I mean, definitely been to Malibu quite a bit. No, Trump is letting them rebuild ASAP. So the problem with letting them rebuild ASAP is some of the places along the coast, it's actually not safe to build on the part of the coast anymore. Pacific Palisades is a little bit different, but I'm just talking about on Malibu. Like there's some places along the water where they were just grandfathered in, and then once the place falls down or once the place is destroyed, you you know yeah, you can't rebuild there anymore because they seem like they say it's not safe. Do a backflip. I cannot do a backflip. I'm sorry about that. My bad. You said do a backflip. That's hilarious. Thoughts on XRP? I really hope that they make a ETF soon. Because that'll really get the stock price going. But before we get to an ETF, we got a couple more steps that XRP need to accomplish before we get to them making an ETF. So maybe we got like 2 steps before that. Maybe that's what Galvin's evil plan was, to build his city in Malibu. You know, I don't know. What if they did build a smart city? After that, what if they did build a smart city? 5 years later. I don't know. What if? What if it's true? What if it's not? But think about it. What if it is true? Like, what is anyone really gonna do? Say that they did it? I was always wondering, like, what if they actually do build a smart city? What if they increase the population, like before, let's say before it was X amount of people there, and what if they're able to put 10 times the population living in the same square footage, and they made it like more dense, right? They built multiple units. What if they did that? I mean, I don't know if they would, because California likes to drag their feet, with environmental reviews and this and that and that and this. I don't know, but what if? Somebody's got a truck with a chain hanging off the back of that joint. I can hear it just dragging down the road up there. Yeah, that'd be hella nice, honestly, LOL, but it's fucked up to the people that got their homes burned down. I mean, yeah, it's totally messed up for sure. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, because I'm pretty sure Pacific Palisades, they probably will rebuild that area. I just don't know about Malibu. Probably some parts of Malibu. But man, like, yeah, that's like a lot of California. Like that's some of the dopest spots in California, like right in that area that got burnt. Like it's crazy, bro. Just think about all the property tax that the state is gonna lose. Think about that for a second. Think about all the property tax. Like it was a house that burned in Malibu. It was $135 million house. Think about that. Think about how much property tax they used to pay every year to the state. And the state, like, they ain't getting that money right now. you know. But like crazy, man. What's up, Sean Williams? How you doing today? How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm just out like in the nature. It's kind of getting cold. The sun is behind this big cloud right now, and I'm sort of sitting in the shade because it's kind of bright. Well, it was bright, but now it's kind of getting cold out here. Ugh. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I thought I would do like an afternoon stream, just come on and see what y'all are up to. I was gonna go to the gym and work out, but my arm is still kind of sore. Um, my arm's sore because I like slept really messed up a couple nights ago. My arm is like kind of jacked up. So I'm gonna wait till it's like back 100. And I don't know, my inner thighs were super sore too. So I mean, inner thighs are good, but yesterday them joints was super sore. It was from the weekend actually, like partying, dancing a lot, like dancing all night. Some like legs were like dead, bro. Legs were dead. You say simple water is better. So I went to this office today, and they asked if you want to grab anything from the drink. So I just grabbed one of these. Do you rave or go to music festivals? So I'm not really big on like raving and going to music festivals. I did go to Some and Bass in Italy like a couple years ago. It's like a 10-day long drum and bass music festival. And it was freaking amazing. Yeah, it was dope. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't just really like to party like that. You know, I kind of don't. This past weekend, we did go to a drum and bass show, and it was kind of like a smaller crowd, like a smaller venue. Maybe it was like 40 or 50 people there, but it was dope. Like I danced the whole night, Yeah, the whole night, like jamming the whole night. Like it was awesome, yo. Yeah, I know. 10 days drum and bass. That is next level, yo. And okay, so the festival's 10 days long, but some people don't. I don't think everybody stays for 10 days. Some people may show up for the first 4 days, show up for, go for 3 days, go for, you know, people break it up. Not everybody goes for the whole 10 days. And drum and bass is really popular in the UK. So a lot of people that go to the drum and bass event are from the UK. And the UK is a very short flight from, when I say UK, I'm talking about London, England. It's a very short flight. It's I think it's about an hour flight. So yeah, there's a bunch of British people and there's a bunch of people from all over Europe, of course, a bunch of Europeans. And then you meet a handful of Americans there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We stayed the whole 10 days. And how it works is okay, basically, there's this town, right? And there's Airbnbs all around the town. There's 3 music venues. And in the daytime, no, there's 4 music venues. And then in the daytime, there's there's a day show. Usually the day show is at a hotel pool or it's on the beach. Both of them are epic, okay? Both of them are freaking epic. The one at the hotel is epic because they're just jamming out by the pool, and then there's people hanging out by the pool. There's people in the pool. There's a restaurant right there. You can get food, right? And there's just all these hot chicks around. You just out chilling, right? But then the beach party is even dope too, because on the beach party, they have a stage on the beach, And they also have a fence. So if you have a wristband, you can go on the fence. But if you don't have a wristband, you just have to stay behind the fence. So the beach parties, basically there's like a free party for like the locals, because you don't, you can come up to the fence and then you can still hear the music. And there's all these other people behind the fence that are like partying, jamming out. And then if you got a wristband, you can go up in the fence, So it's like a legit like thing, right? So that usually goes from like 3. No, that usually goes from like 2 p.m. to like from 2 p.m. to like maybe 5 or 6, right? And then at 6, there's another stage that's popping up, and that stage will be lit from 6 p.m. to about 9. And then at like 9, there's like another stage at another venue, right? So you just go from venue to venue. And, that's kind of how it worked. Some days, I would wake up early, go see, go to 2 venues. Some days we'd make all 3 venues. Some days I would only make it 1 venue, because I'm like, I need more sleep. It was also really hot. So, and a lot of walking. I mean, a lot of freaking walking. I mean, you're walking for, at least, I don't know, like at least 10 miles per day. Like at least. Because you have to walk from where you're staying to the venue. And just depends on where you're staying, and then the venue, yeah, it's this big hill by the beach that you have to walk up after you've been partying all night and your feet hurt. Another thing we would do, gotta run into work, have a good day. All right, see you later, Sean. Another thing we would do is we would go to the store and we would buy these bottles of water and we would freeze them in the freezer. Then we would take the bottles of water with us to the event and then we would hide them outside the event. So we'd go find a bush, we'd stick the water in the bush, right? Because they were charging €5 for water and it was like a small bottle of water. €5. Well, if you got a big bottle of water from the gas station in a 12-pack, it was about 50 cents. So that's what everybody would do. Well, not everybody, but some people would do that. Like, we would definitely do that. Because I would just have to drink a lot of water. Because it was so hot. Like, I would have to constantly drink water. It was just gnarly. And then some nights we drink drinks. Some nights we didn't, But the drinks were like, I think €12 each. So they kind of start to add up. And the water was €5, which was like annoying. What do you think about the new laws for electric bikes in California? Oh, regulation for electric bikes? I'm actually not opposed to it because like, we live in the city, and the city's kind of crazy. Like, people do whatever they want, right? But then you also have a lot of parents that live in suburbs, and they have young kids, okay? And young kids are not the same. Young kids are going to go have a good time, and they might do things that young kids do, right? They might go too fast. They might, run a couple red lights. They might, young kids are going to be kids. So when you give a kid an electric bike that has all this power, I'm not talking about the cheaper electric bikes. I'm talking about them electric bikes that are like 3,000, 4,000, because some of them actually have a lot of power, like for real. Like, it's almost like a freaking motorcycle, And when you give that to a kid versus you give them a regular electric bike that's like 750 watt motor, you kind of can't go that fast on a 750 watt bike. You can get up to about 22 miles an hour. But some of those Chirons, some of them $3,000, $4,000 bikes, bro, you can get up to like 50 miles an hour on, So I think that there definitely needs to be some sort of regulation for sure. I haven't exactly been following what's been going on with the California laws, but I think they're trying to control the speed or something, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm getting cold now. I'm not used to wearing this. I'm wearing this hoodie today And usually I wear a zip hoodie. And the zip hoodies are like bigger. So the sleeves go like way down my arm. This one's not. This is like kind of short, you know. I'm like, I'm cold. And also the hood is like really small on this one too. Is the sharing economy ever coming back or is it over? It's not gonna come back here because of all those people moved away. You know, when all those tech workers moved away, the 100,000 people moved away. Yeah, that's why the gig economy won't come back no time soon. If the city was back full, and what I mean back full, I'm talking about where you have downtown, like just, you know, a lot of the housing like full, because there's a lot of empty buildings in Selma right now. There are a lot of empty places in Selma. And if Selma was filled up and packed, there would definitely be a demand for the sharing economy because you would just have more people ordering stuff, more people ordering food, more people taking rides, more people ordering Amazon, you know, more people going to the restaurant, more people going shopping at the mall, you know, more people just buying stuff in general. But when the city is like, you know, when it lost its population like that, it's not gonna have the same it's not gonna have the same like, you know, boom to it. You know what I'm saying? I just made and had some good veggie fried rice. Veggie fried rice sounds bomb right now. It sounds hella bomb right now. And veggie fried rice. You know, I think the city will bounce back, but it's gonna bounce back just in a different way, right? It's gonna bounce back in a different way. It will bounce back, but it's gonna be different, right? It's gonna be different. And honestly, I would say the best way for the city to bounce back is for, this may sound crazy, but like, for maybe tech not to come here, right? Maybe tech not to come here. Just let the city, over time, naturally fill up, right? Because I really believe over time, it really could, okay? Over time, if they could clean up downtown, if they could, get the fentanyl crisis down, right? If they could clean up that downtown, I think that the city could literally slowly fill up. And how it would slowly fill up, like you would just have like, it wouldn't just be like a big announcement, it wouldn't be like, hey, Google's hiring 20,000 employees. No, it'll just be like, a small trickle, And then that way the city wouldn't be relying on one thing because the city was so reliant on tech. It's like, yeah, when tech left, like they go downtown. But if the city didn't rely on one industry, but I don't know, but what would be the reason to move to San Francisco too? It's very expensive. Think about it. Like, yeah, it is. It's very expensive. Like, there's so many other places you can take your company to. There's so many other places you can go. So it might be a hard sell. But I can also see people moving here, over time. But what jobs will they have if there's no jobs, But then if enough people move here, jobs will be created just because you have more people here. So someone's going to think, oh, let's open up a yoga studio right here. Oh, let's open up a restaurant right here. Oh, we need a laundromat over here, So I don't know. We'll just have to watch and see how it bounces back. Like, it's, none of us really have the answers. We can only predict. But I think that it's kind of cool to watch, right? Just how it was a couple of years ago, how popping it was, and then how the middle of the pandemic, everything boarded up, wood on the windows, and then now it's like it's coming, like it is coming back. I mean, it's a slow comeback, but like it's moving, Yeah, I think SF is a beautiful city. SF is just it, and the thing about it, like honestly, tourists, they don't even really get to see. They really don't get to see much of the city. They really don't get to see much of the city. Bottom line, dude. I mean, think about it. They only just go to the tourist areas, and the tourist areas are really nice. But I would say some of the nicest parts of the city are like some of these little hidden random spots that you go to in different neighborhoods. This little park here, this view overlooking, this hill, going to the Painted Ladies, going to Dolores Park, you know, going to, parts of Presidio. I think that's the cream of the crop of the city. And, tourists don't even really go to Dolores Park. Think about that. They go to the Painted Ladies, but like tourists really don't go to Dolores Park. Dolores Park is epic, yo. It is a beautiful, beautiful place in the city. I remember when I was a tour guide, I would take tourists there, and everyone loved it. Like everyone loved it. It's such an exotic place, and especially how it can be so warm at Dolores Park, and then you could like go from Dolores Park to like Presidio, or like maybe or like Ocean Beach, and the temperature is like 20-degree difference. It's crazy. Like, how unique is that? Like, there's not that many places in the U.S. that is that unique. That's a freaking major city on top of that. Like that park right after Golden Gate on the right. Oh, yeah. There's so many parks. I think they said SF has like, I think, what, 280 parks or something? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really, really small parks. Little neighborhood parks, right? Little place you would just go sit down, read a book, right? But there's a lot of really, 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 really unique parks throughout the city. And because the sun hit me in the face. Which city do you think is the most beautiful? The most beautiful city in the world? I've already said I think San Francisco is the most beautiful city in the world. But the reason why I say San Francisco is the most beautiful city in the world is because I've seen a lot of different parts of the city, right? And I've also been to New York. I've seen a lot of New York, right? I've spent quite a bit of time in New York. Um, spent quite a bit of time in LA. Not as much. I don't know LA as much as I know New York. But trust me, New York is way easier to figure out than LA, because in New York you can easily cover a short amount of time in a very short. You can cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time. Unlike LA, where like you could be driving in like mad traffic, right? New York, you'd be on the subway, going to the next neighborhood. And also it's just easier to memorize. Harlem is up by 125th. You know Wall Street is way down there by the tip of the. You just kind of figure it out. Where LA is, you know, I know LA, but like I just don't know it like I know New York, Because LA, you gotta drive everywhere. You gotta take 405 and take 101, and in New York, you just hop on the subway, or you can ride a bike, which is cool. What you up to, bro? I am just sitting in nature, like just kind of chilling, taking it easy. I'm like a little upset because like I got a homie that is not having a great time, and I kind of want to talk to them, but like they're just like, oh, I don't want to talk. So like I'm a little bummed out about that because I don't know. I'm concerned about them, and they said they're having a hard time, and then it's just some stuff. So I'm like, yeah, bummed about that, but everything else I'm kind of chilling. Ooh. Y'all, come on, we gotta talk about it. I've been talking about this shit all day, but like, we gotta talk about the what is it? The Deep Sea. The Chinese app. The Chinese app that they just came out with. Have y'all been following this new Chinese app that they just came out with? Hold on, I'm gonna stick this in the ground. There we go. So I stuck this in the ground now. Ooh, that works even better now. Oh, my drink. It's falling down the hill. Okay, so have y'all been following this freaking... Yes, the AI app, bro. Hey, so have y'all been following this? Because, man, I've been like I've been getting lost in this shit too. So check this out. So y'all know how NVIDIA sells their microchips, right? They sell their microchips. So I can't remember if it was Joe Biden or if it was Trump. I think it might have been Joe Biden. But both of them wanted to do this. Regardless. Both of them was going to do this. But I think it was Joe Biden. So Joe Biden blocked. They said that they couldn't buy NVIDIA's most fastest chip, okay? The H100s, right? Elon Musk and Zuckerberg have been buying them fucking chips like crazy. Like just billions of dollars just buying them chips, right? And they're really expensive, okay? You have Apple haven't been buying no chips, okay? Think about this. You don't really hear Apple talk about AI that much. They just came out with that little AI app that like no one's excited about. You know, boring, okay? But Facebook and Tesla and also, what's the other company? Microsoft, been spending billions of dollars on these chips, okay? So they've been spending billions of dollars on these language models, right? So ChatGPT, Grok, okay? So Microsoft owns ChatGPT. Grok is owned by Twitter. And Facebook got their own llama model, right? So these models are closed. So it's closed, so you can't see like how they operate, right? But you can use it. Here comes the Chinese. They come up with this new app. Basically, this is actually pretty, like, so you can look at this a couple different ways. But I'm actually, honestly, I'm really fucking excited that they did this. I'm really excited that those Chinese folks did this. And the reason why is because what they basically did is they basically leveled the playing field. Because before, you needed billions of dollars to do these language models, right? Today, you can use this Chinese open source and you can use it on your own server. So it don't even have to be on the Chinese folks server. It can be on your own server, right? So a lot of American companies could greatly benefit from this financially, right? Yes, they can, okay? It's also kind of a slap in the face to Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Microsoft. It's kind of a slap in the face to them, but it's also not a slap in the face to them, because now they like now this other company is able to show them that, look, we figured out a way to do this computing power using way less energy. We don't even need these fast GPUs. Okay. So if we can do all this data with a small GPU, well, you know how much data we could use if we could max out this GPU? So some people are looking at it like, oh my gosh, the Chinese just passed us. But some people are looking at it like, oh, bro, we used to have a drop of water. We used to get a drop of water, right? But now we got a fucking faucet and it's raining down on us right now. So some people are looking at it like that. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like, oh, dang. So now you can do all this computing for that much cheaper. It might be about to. I'm not going to use DeepSeek. Oh, you're not going to use it. So it's actually safe to use if you use it on a different server. You can use it on a different server. I'm looking at it like how it's going to be cheaper to compute things. It's going to be more things being computed now. So the AI race is really about to go even faster. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. It is a slap in the face to the American companies, though. It's like, are y'all really on top of the AI game, you know? Are y'all really on top of it? But yeah, it's kind of nuts. And then the people that made it they basically did it they didn't do it for profit. They did it for humanity, bro. That's the thing I kind of like about it. They didn't do it because they can make money off of it. They're all like, the people that made it, they're all like PhDs. They're all like PhDs. They're really, really smart mathematicians. And they figured out, like, yo, since we can't get these chips from America, because America doesn't want us to compete with them in this AI race, we got to figure out a way to use different chips, or we got to figure out a way to get some of them H100s behind America's back, you know, because they could have did that too. They could have been using, 10,000 H100s, right? And they could just be telling us, hey, we're not using these chips, we're using these. Check it out, you know? They could be. They could be using just incredibly amounts of electricity, for all these, I don't know, they could be, they could be hiding it. But then what if they're not though? What if it's all legit? You can't sit here and deny everything, you can't sit back and say, oh no, they can't do it. But what if they did do it? Now you just in denial, So you gotta look at it both ways. Oh, it's definitely a wake-up call. I mean, it's definitely a wake-up call. They're moving because, oh man, they're moving. It's all about who can solve generalized, no, what is it? AGI. It's all about AGI, yo. Whoever can solve that first, they're gonna rule, dude. And it could be them, but it also could be like the Koreans. Don't count them out. It could be them. It could be the Americans. I mean, I don't know. It could be the British. I don't know if they're moving at the same speed. But with this whole, like, with this open source, like, Chinese internet, now you can have people all around the world competing. It's not just tech companies. Like, it's great, yo. Shout outs from Poland. Yeah, it's crazy, man. That whole CI thing. Yeah, it is really insane how it happens. AI is taking over many jobs. Lawyers, programmers, software engineers, automated taxi driving. Bro, it's happening. It's happening. Like, what will people do for work? Like, what will people do for work? Like, for real. It's really concerning. Like, what will people do for work? Like, where will the money come from to pay people? Like, where will people find purpose? Like, where will people find purpose? Like, this is a deep question to answer, because one thing about being a man is you get your purpose on what you do, right? So if you go to work every day and you're productive and you're doing something and you're doing something, right? You're busy. You wake up, you got to run over here. You're working, right? You feel very different about yourself, okay? When you get laid off and you're just sitting around the house, you think different. Like, you feel different. You don't feel like it's confident. You don't feel like, this is going to be a big problem. I think this is going to be a really big problem in the future. Like, where will people find purpose? Because in life, that's just a part of life. It's part of life, yo. You go to work. Maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you move up, you get a better position, you make more money, right? Maybe you move up, right? You go through experiences. You like work. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know, I get it that some people don't like work, but like, work is just a part of life. If you didn't go to work every day, what else would you do? Would you just sit on the beach all day, every day? And would that be fun? Would that be entertaining? Like, would that be fun to just sit on the beach all day? Or you go to work, you do stuff, you interact with people, you talk to people. Maybe you can go to work and you dress up every day. So you at work, you styling, everybody looking at you. Oh, I like your outfit. Well, I like your shoes, Or maybe you do a certain job at work that you really like, okay? That you interact with people, right? A job is life for people. That's what I'm trying to say. A job is just life. Like, it's what you do makes you happy. Well, some jobs, right? Maybe some jobs don't make everybody happy. But a lot of jobs bring a lot of joy. You know, it gives you something to do all day. You're not at home bored. You know, it sends you to another location. It sends you to a different neighborhood, you know? And when this changes, like, what will be the purpose of life? Will it just be, will we be playing video games and the purpose of life will be to get a higher score, right? Will we be doing something like, will we be doing some sort of competition? Right? Will we be going to bingo games every day? Like Monday through Friday, we're gonna be at the bingo game. We're gonna be playing bingo. B52. Woo! Bingo! Yeah! I just won for the 120th time in 30 days, you know? Like, where will people find the purpose in life, you know? I mean, what will we do? Because like AI is moving. And one thing AI is not doing, it's not slowing down. It's not slowing down. It is not slowing down. This shit is speeding up like crazy. Like, it's not slowing down. Am I, like, any of y'all feel where I'm going? Like, am I like making sense here, or am I just losing my head? But like, I feel like these are things I don't really hear people talk about. Like, what will people do? And then where the money gonna come from too? Dude, imagine what we will have in 20 years from now. I just kind of have a prediction that, like, maybe we would probably see, I mean, could we see like all automated cars in 20 years? I mean, could we? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I know it's a random question, but like, could it actually go that way? Like, it would be gnarly, you know? But then also, let's think about something else with autonomous cars. This is something that, like, things I like. I like to push buttons back on them. Okay, so what about this scenario with autonomous cars? I don't know if people have thought about this too much. How will people accept the fact that there's a few companies that control where rides go? Because today it's not like that. Today, anybody can buy a car. You can go get a car from the dealership. You can go get a used car. You can go get a motorcycle. You can go get a bike, right? But in the future, if it's going to all be autonomous cars, well, I would imagine there's not going to be that many companies, and it's going to be just a few companies controlling a large aspect of life, like where people are going. I maybe this is just too far out there for a lot of people, but it's something I was thinking about too. Like, have you thought about using AI to pick stocks or crypto winners and automatic trading? I haven't, but I also heard that, you know, the company that invested in, never mind. Never mind. Get a dog or a cat and call it a day. I mean, I imagine a lot of people would get dogs and cats, especially dogs. Maybe that's what people will do. I mean, honestly, if you gave people dogs, like, I mean, that could literally fill up a lot of folks' time if you gave them a dog. Like, if they had a dog, like, that could really fill up their time. You know, you wake up and you go walk your dog for 2 hours. And then you go eat some food from an automated food shop. And then you go walk your dog again for 2 hours. And then you go eat some more food from an automated food shop, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what the people will do in the future. Or maybe they'll just go play bingo all day. Because, like, I guess they could just play bingo, right? Okay, so let's go down the crazy rabbit hole of Bitcoin, right? because I was thinking about this the other day. Someone was talking about Bitcoin being worth $100 million for one Bitcoin. And I was like, $100 million for one Bitcoin. And I was thinking, well, who has the most Bitcoin, right? So it would be MicroStrategy. And then I was thinking like, yo, I think they have like 600,000 Bitcoin right now. So if it went to 100 million, them fools would be worth, I think that's like $200 trillion. Okay. So if they're worth $200 trillion, like what does that even mean? Because we don't even have a trillionaire today. So if it was worth $200 trillion, he could literally buy all of the U.S. real estate. Because all of the U.S. real estate is like 52 trillion. And then he could spend another 50 trillion and buy like every stock in the stock market. Like it would just be gnarly, how much wealth that would be, But will Bitcoin hit 100 million? Probably not. I don't know, but it could. What if it did? Like, that's crazy though. What if it hit 10 million, dude? If it hit 10 million, MicroStrategy, they would have what? $10 trillion, like $10 trillion. Like how insane that is. But then also, if Bitcoin hit that much, he wouldn't be the person. He would probably have the most, but like a lot of other people would have tons and tons and tons of trillions of dollars. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Like that's why I like cryptocurrency, because they can print dollars all day, but you can't print Bitcoin. You cannot print Bitcoin. Like it's only like a certain amount, and once it's over, yo. Philippines, I have been to Philippines. I went to, the place I stayed the most time was Palawan. It's like an island. And then I went to El Nino on the other side of the island. Oh my gosh, that was such a long commute. So basically, when you're in Philippines traveling on them islands, right? Well, most islands are like small, and the roads are usually small and like windy. So you can't go that fast. This is the same in Hawaii, by the way. But the roads are so small and so narrow, so you're just driving so slow. And it was like 5 or 6 hour drive. And it was just slow and windy. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I want to get there so bad. And then on the way back, I ended up flying out of the El Nino airport, because there was the El Nino airport, but I flew into like a different airport, And like I said, the commute was so long. So I flew into the airport on this side of the island, and I had to go on the opposite side of the island. Which, that happens so much when I travel. Like that happened when I went to Hawaii, where like I went to Honolulu, but the place I really wanted to go was like on the other side of the island. So it's like now you got to go all the way around. Even in Hawaii, it took 3 hours. 3 hours. I mean, I did take a bus, but it wasn't like the bus was stopping like every 5 minutes. It wasn't like the bus was stopping every 2 minutes like it do in San Francisco. Like the bus was going like a long way without stopping, But it was just, like I say, really windy roads, and you just have to go really slow. And then parts of the road would be washed away. So you would have to wait, and then some cars go through, and then, the crossing guard let you through. It was a lot of that going on, So it's just like that when you go to islands. They have rainstorms, and, water wash rocks into the road. Or you're driving, right? This happened to me in Hawaii, where we're driving and it started raining. So we just pulled over on the side of the road until like the rain slowed down, because it was just raining really hard, and it was just really windy, and it was really windy, So the driver is like, it's really windy and unsafe. We're just gonna pull over and wait like 20 minutes, And we waited like maybe 15, and then it just died down, And we just kept on going. But yeah, if you got to go through small little roads, right? And it's windy and it's raining, and yeah, it might be safe to just pull over, you know? Supposedly there's very little Bitcoin left, only 21 million ever. And they're not even done mining the 21 million. You know, they still got years left, you know. But you also got to think about all the lost Bitcoin out there, because there's a lot of Bitcoin out there that's lost. You know, maybe someone, you know, had Bitcoin on a computer and then they forgot the password. Or maybe someone had Bitcoin in a account and then they died and no one ever gave them they never gave up the code to anyone. You know, that's Bitcoin that is lost. It's not really going around anymore because no one can get that Bitcoin. So there you have it. It's kind of crazy. Imagine losing millions from forgetting password. Bro, dude. People have done it. People have definitely done it, you know. You know, people threw away the computer and they try to go to the dump to look for the computer. Like, come on, you're literally looking for gold. I mean, think about it. That's like looking for gold in a freaking forest, right? If you can find that computer and you can get the Bitcoin off the computer, how much is that Bitcoin worth? Like hundreds of millions of dollars? That's just like us going in the freaking California mountains. We just keep digging and we keep digging and we keep digging and then we just hit a big block of gold, you know? Like, that's kind of what Bitcoin is like when you throw it away in a landfill. Crazy. Oh no, y'all having fun today? There we go. I'm all in the sun now. Sun's nice. Sun is nice on this chocolate. Yeah, no. Losing that much money would be gnarly, right? I don't know. But you know what? There'll be other opportunities. You know, there will be other opportunities. I mean, Bitcoin is something that is a little bit different. But I don't know, if it really takes off, like eventually people will just have jobs and they'll get paid in Bitcoin, you know? If you believe, you know, it's really going to take off. And then, like I said, there's always investment opportunities. There's always investment opportunities. You just have to look for them, you know? That's 50 degrees in the sun. It's about 50 degrees in the sun. How is single life? I don't know. I'm kind of talking to someone. I was kind of talking to someone else, but like, I don't know. Maybe not anymore. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of talking to someone. It's kind of chill. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but you know. Gosh, it's such a nice day. All right, so we've been streaming for 68 minutes. So I think I'm gonna get off here and end the stream. Cause I'm good. So thanks for hanging out, y'all. This sock had a tag in here. And I know this is not a new sock. Like, I've definitely wore these socks before. But I never noticed it had a pull in there. Crazy. You need some shades? I have some shades. I just did not bring them right now. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'll see y'all. It was fun streaming. I'll stream. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. But I usually, like, go to the gym in the daytime. So, like, you know, maybe I won't stream tomorrow. Maybe I will go work out tomorrow. Ooh, my legs asleep. Woo. But anyway, I love all y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a fabulous day. And peace out, y'all. Ow! Yes.